What's going on, boys and girls, ladies and gents, and welcome back to another episode of Outlaw Fishing. So in this video I'm going to show you guys actually how to catch bass in the dead of summer when it's super hot, really humid, and no fish are biting. And you're wondering, why are they not biting? Well, that's what this video is going to show you guys on how to do and where the bass are going to be. Not always is it the same situation, but number one tip, go deep. Most of you guys will think, oh, well, he's gonna use a crankbait in this video. No, actually, I've got one crankbait we might use, but that is not our main goal at all today to use. We've actually got a couple different lures and different setups going on right now. So, but I'm gonna show you guys how to catch these bass in the middle of summer and where to find them and what areas they're gonna be. But if you guys haven't yet, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, hit that little notification bell, and hit that like button to show me that you guys are enjoying the content. I'm sorry for the last couple days I didn't bring out a video like I had been, but we're getting ready to bring one out now in this video. So let's get out there, let's get the catching fish, let's get the ripping lips, and let's get some bigs. All right, so we're starting off with the good old chatterbait. I probably ought to put a new trailer on it, but we'll get to that. And what I like to look for is cover, falling down trees, grass, hydrilla, just cover, and also deep. So these bass, they're when it becomes really hot, there's less oxygen in the water, so these bass will go down deep to stay cool and get more oxygen. So with the cooler water, there is more oxygen. So I like to look for cover, fallen trees, bushes in the water, structures in the water, and occasionally, or most likely, about 90% of the time, they're going to be in the shade. So do a little cast over here in the shade. Hope we don't get a bunch of stuff on our blade here. But one reason why I chose the chatterbait is because it's got multiple different ways to be used, multiple different purposes. It's just a vibrating jig, so you can toss it over, move it however you want. You can quickly move it. You can let it sink all the way down to the bottom and just pop it off the bottom as so. And also, with it being super hot, and 9 times out of 10 the summer is gonna be super sunny, I like to pick me a bladed bait. And the reason I say a bladed bait is because that blade will put off a reflection that'll affect or cause them bass to actually go for like a reaction bite. So we're just over here, just a chatterbait, working the banks, working deep. There's actually a bass right over here. See if we can get him to bite. He just kind of blew up. I don't know if it was a bass or a bluegill. But just right along cover. There we go. And we had ourselves a decent little bass right there. And not always will a chatterbait work, but I'm just saying 9 times out of 10, you don't catch a lot of bass on a chatterbait, or you could. But it does bring out big bass. Whatever it is about the chatterbait just attracts big bass. So we're gonna move our way over here to where I know there's a lot of cover, a lot of rocks, and a lot of brush. And we're gonna go try over there and we'll put our theories to test. So like I said, over here, there's a lot of cover, a lot of shaded areas. There's some rocks. There's rocks over here under the water and as well as back here. So this is just pretty much like a big enclosing area of rock cover and etc. So my first instinct, what I'm gonna do is I'll go toward the cover where I see shade, and I'll just slowly work chatterbait through the water. And like on I said earlier about the blades, also a spinnerbait, which we as well have tied on, works fantastic as well during the summer days and the hot days, or sunny days. So get out our blade and put it to test. And I'm just slowly working it where I see a bunch of hydrilla under the water and cover, just right over that. We just had ourselves a hit, but didn't commit. That's another thing, these bass during the summer, they're gonna be really finicky and lethargic, and they're gonna be hard to catch. It's so hot that they just don't move as much. I mean, they still eat and they still chase bait, but just not as much as you would see in like the spring or the fall time. So I'm just slowly moving this bait. There we go. Right across the top of the cover, and we get ourselves, not big, but our first bass of the day. There we go. Like I said, I just threw this thing right above some cover. So we'll do that again. Right here, there's a lot of rock and hydrilla. We'll just move this thing slowly right above it. We just had another one hit it. But I'm only working this thing about 2 or 3 foot down below the water. Here we go. Ouch. Little guy. There we go. That's not a bad one. Dark colors. Right on. And we're just, like I said before, just throwing right across all the cover, all the wood that is here, all the laydowns, through the grass. And the only reason I'm saying it so much of where to throw is because it's kind of upsetting that a lot of people quit fishing when summertime comes. 'Cause, I mean, fishing can be a year-round sport. I mean, I fish year-round. I catch bass in the spring, summer, fall, and winter. And it's just learning the tactics of how to catch and where to catch the bass, or I mean even crappie, you know, catfish, etc. But everybody decides when the weather gets harsh, like when it's really cold or really hot, everybody thinks, oh well, fair weather is going to be the best for fishing. Yes and no, because fair weather is the most fair, I would say, to get with bass fishing would be in the spring during pre-spawn, post-spawn, and spawn. Yes, spawn, when the females are laying their eggs, you're not going to catch, not always going to catch the bigger bass. The bigger bass are the females, which are laying their eggs. So the male, which is normally smaller than the female, will protect the eggs, will protect the nest. So they pretty much strike at everything first before the female does. So, I mean, sometimes you can catch the bass or the male bass from the nest and try and throw back in to catch the female, which it works a lot of times, you know. And then there's sometimes the female just doesn't want to bite and you gotta move on. But summertime fishing, it's slow. It is. It takes a lot of patience. For those who do fish in the summer, you guys know what I'm talking about. Here we go. That's the smallest bass I've ever caught. And I don't even hook him in the mouth. That lure is literally about the same size as he is. There you go. I mean, even the tiny bass are super healthy. But right there, just right next to cover, moved it slow, stopped it. There we go. But that one, it just hit the water and he hit it, but just right next to some of that cover. But we'll move down some more. Some thicker brush areas, some thicker grass, and hopefully we can, I mean this video could be for about giant bass. It could be, but then I'd be lying to you guys, because not always in the hot summer days you guys are gonna find giant bass. You can, but I'm in Missouri, so this doesn't, I mean, Missouri's not a state to where that produces giant bass that has, I mean, it's not known for giant bass. Now, places like Texas, Georgia, or Florida, where you got all the, you know, specific strains of bass that actually get big, that'd be a different story for trying to catch giant bass. But here in Missouri, we're not known for giant bass. Now, it'd be awesome if we could, you know, just catch giant bass like it's nothing. There we go. Oh, that's a good one. As I was just saying, not meaning anything for giant bass, but we just got ourselves a good one. Oh, okay. Stay pinned, stay pinned, stay pinned. There we go. All right. There we go. I believe this is that 4-pounder we caught on that topwater video out here after it rained. And the reason I say that is because of this spot right here. But there we go. She looks blind. But yeah, there we go. Speaking of giant bass, I wasn't really intentionally trying to catch her. I was just kind of showing you guys where to catch fish in general. But there we go, guys. We got ourselves a decent sized bass. Pretty colors. I mean, unfortunately, she's got some battle wounds. And I know there is a lot of giant snapping turtles out here and stuff like that, but all right. Let's get her back in the water. And I mean, we could make it about giant bass, but like I said, it's never a guarantee to get giant bass. So let's get her when she's ready. One more good water dripping shot right there. Beautiful bass right there. It was 4-pounder last time we caught her. And the only reason I know that, if I can find the clip, I'll show you guys, but that little mark right here under her. All right, girl. She's ready to go. Beautiful fish. Here we go. Right close to that log. Should be one. There we go. And sometimes you just gotta land right next to them bass. He got off. I mean, at first I threw right next to the... Oh man. I threw right next to the log. Didn't bite. And then I threw right under that log, pretty much right on top of that fish. And then he bit. Not a bad one. Right. Oh, just came right out. There we go. On the old spinner bait. In the dead heat of summer. Catching fish. Awesome. And like I said, they're just packed in that grass out there in the cover. But beautiful fish. Great markings. Beautiful colors. In your bag. There she goes. There goes back over there.